Well, hello there. Thank you for joining today. I think that we're probably just going to have a small crowd, which is awesome. So hopefully you'll be able to get a lot out of this. I just wanted to make sure if you could throw in the chat if everything's working for you, you have sound, you can see me, everything's good to go. Awesome. Okay, so my name is Angie Molman, and I am starting my new business with AI coaching. And I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about myself and kind of get to know you and see if all of the good things. So if you want to pop in the chat where you're joining us from, I'm here in St. Louis. And just to let you know a little bit about me is I was a principal and in education. And so I loved technology. That was one of my passions. And I realized that I love helping people. I'm starting my second journey in life and just having some fun with it. I've been studying a lot with Jonathan Mast, and I'm thinking that's probably where some of you are from. And I've just really enjoyed learning from him and getting to know him. If you're not in his Facebook group, it's a great place to start and learn from. So that's AI prompts for entrepreneurs. And that's a really great learning community. If you would tell me a little bit about your comfort level of using AI, if you're maybe just getting started or if you've been using it for a while, I have really enjoyed learning and creating a lot of different prompts. And so if you want, feel free to post any questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself, whatever, works best for you. So I'm going to share a little bit here. Let's see, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I'll be sure to share this with you, this presentation. I actually have some different materials that I'll have for you. And I'll try to keep the chat open, so hopefully I can manage all that at the same time. This is all new to me, kind of experimenting with this. It's perfect that it's a small crowd. And also, if you don't mind, I am recording it just so that we have that too. With that, when you log into, I'm going to kind of model today using ChatGPT. And like I said, if something goes wrong or you can't see my screen, just let me know. I think I have everything where it should be now. But if you don't already have a subscription to ChatGPT, this is one of the things that I really suggest using. So I have the $20 subscription, and I have found that is perfect, and it does all the things that I need to do, but it also allows me to personalize and tailor and do some different tricks and tools with that. Today, one of the things that I wanted to teach you was that it's so important to personalize your conversations when you're talking back and forth. And so, especially with content creation, it'll really help if you're able to give it some information and facts about what it's working with. So, just if you were to hire an assistant, like an actual person, you have to give them a little bit of background and information. I have actually created and designed my own GPT, several of them actually, but this is the one that I use, and it's called AI Coaching with Angelina. And I tailor it with all of my background information. So I load it up with all of that content about my coaching business so that it can pull from those facts. Now, one of the things that we're not going to be able to get that tailored today because that'll take a little bit more time, but if you're interested, that's something that I can definitely help with. But for today, I want you to experiment with using these three words. And so I'm going to post them here. So you'll want to tell it when we're starting our conversation, what kind of tone do you want it to be? What kind of style? And then what kind of values do you have? So just to give it a little bit of business background about your information. So for today's purposes, we're going to just create a dog walking company for this conversation. And also, if you don't use this tool already, it's one that I learned and I absolutely love it. So if I push Windows H, it'll record my talking so that I don't have to be typing as we're working. And that's something that I really like. Okay, so for today, I am going to be creating some posts around my dog walking business. The tone that I want you to use is that of conversation, and comfortable. The style will be friendly and relaxed and maybe a little bit comical. And the value of my business is that I really enjoy supporting others, busy family members, with being able to take care of their dogs for my dog walking company. And as you can see, it's really easy to kind of just type that in and not have to think too much about it. Okay, thank you for sharing, Henry, about using it for your blog posts for your websites. Maybe we'll tailor it as we go here for that. So I'm just going to give it that background information, and then we have to tell it what we want it to do. And this is where that framework that Jonathan talks about really comes in handy. So the first is you want to give it a role. So you want to tell it what type of expert you want it to act as. So copywriter, viral marketing strategist, content creator, business strategist, whatever you're focusing on, expert blog writer, put that in there. And then give it some background. So what do you want it to do? And that could be to write a viral Instagram post or create a Facebook post. And then tell it directly, stating it exactly what you want it to do. And then you can have a feedback loop, which is ask me any questions that you may have. So today, just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to give you these prompts if you want to use them, but I just wanted to be able to copy something quickly and put it over into chat to show you what it would look like. That it may come back and say, love it. Here's some tones that we can do to be talking about your dog walking business. They're friendly, relaxed, and perfect for capturing that hey friend, let me help you out vibe. And I am going to stop it because I want it to specifically use this prompt. So I'm going to put that in there and see what happens. So the prompt that I'm going to use is you're a content creator for personal brand marketing, create 7 Facebook posts with each of these. So now it's going to come back and have those different styles. So the first one is pain, problem, and solution. The second one is a before and after transformation. The third is utilizing a personal story with a lesson. The fourth is a testimonial or case study. Now, obviously, this is just for me. I love doing these kinds of things because it just gives me ideas. Obviously, I wouldn't copy that exactly because Sarah hasn't actually, been walking the dog with me, but FAQ style value post, common myth busted, and then a strong call to action. So what's nice about that is they're just easy, quick, and it just gives me those prompts to be able to utilize. If I want to, I can also ask it to take those and then put them into a table, which I find really helpful. And we're going to get into that on the third day of being able to save these and utilize them. I'm going to click the X. Now, just to let you know, so what this is here, you can pop it out and it's in Canvas. So then if you want, you can actually go in here and be able to edit these right from here. So again, you can change like the font. If you don't like the emojis that it's put there, you can take those in. And then if I click the X, it will save that, and it'll save that in this line of chat with us. Now, another little trick that I want to show you, and this is another one of my people that I have really enjoyed learning from, and her name is Molly Mahoney. And what we're going to do now is copy this prompt. And again, I'll share all of these with you. So you are an expert marketing and sales expert who has a deep understanding of human psychology and marketing. Please make me a list of buying beliefs that we'll say dog walking clients would need to have in order to purchase my service. based on our above conversation. And so this is really going to target the key buying beliefs that our potential clients would have about this particular topic or need. So here's some beliefs about the situation. My busy schedule impacts my dog's well-being. My dog's restlessness or destructive behavior is tied to their lack of daily activity. So then some of the beliefs that they have about me and my business, the value of the service that's provided. So it's coming back with all these really strong belief systems. And then what we can do is say, now add that to a table with the header belief. We're going to ask it to put a short statement to instill the belief and then why this is important. And watch how cool this is. So now it's going to take that information and put it into this nice table. Now, you may have seen this magic the other day when I did this on another one of my videos, but I just love how it really ties it all in. So talking about the beliefs that people have, it gives you a statement to instill this belief, and then why this is important. And then these can all be used in our sales copy, email sequences, social media posts, and webinars. And then the last step is to ask it to take this lovely chart that it's making. And we're going to ask it to kind of think about or create some one-liners from different perspectives. So the ones I'm going to do are a life coach. I'm going to have it think about it from a busy entrepreneur. And then the third one is a factual yet witty person. And you could do these, you could be silly with them, whatever kind of perspective you want it to take. And so what this is going to do then is kind of create like 30 different pieces of content for us. And so it's really just going to allow you to have a ton of content that's really geared towards what you're doing. And so the idea would be that then we could be able to take these pieces and kind of mass produce content, because I know that for me, one of the things that I find difficult is that, feeling like every day I need to post something and be active on social media, but also engaged in my business. And what I am trying to do is really just mass produce and maybe make a week or a month of content at once, and then be able to get that set up and ready to go and posted. Okay, so now this table is going to have some one-liners tailored from these perspectives. So we'll pick this one here. Feeling guilty or stressed about my dog's happiness affects my own peace of mind. So we can say less guilt is more productivity, hire a dog walker, or guilt about dogs is unnecessary, walk it off. So it just gives me like little quotes that I can use along with some images in my content. So if I wanted, what I would do is just copy all of this here. And then what I like to do is just use a Google Sheet. And I'm actually going to create a template for you so that we'll have this on the last day. And then you can just paste this over in here. Yeah, and I think that's key, because a lot of times, I know you were saying how you keep building upon what you start with. The thing is, we go to ChatGPT, we put in a prompt, and it's just like a one-off kind of thing. And so if you can kind of keep building with a theme and going along with it, it's really helpful, because then it's not like you're starting from scratch every single time. And again, these beliefs, I mean, you could just kind of keep these, and these would be like your content pillars that you could keep coming back to, right? So I'll just kind of keep these here. And then these would be ideas that I just have to kind of pull from You don't have to use this exact text, but you could even copy and paste this. Now, again, these are all related to dogs, so it's not going to be that meaningful to copy and paste. But when you have that quality content there, you could grab those and then circle back to chat with some of these other prompts, okay? I'm actually going to show you one of the things that I'm going to share with you is this social media prompt sheet. There's Wally, the social media wizard, so you can use him. And again, same concept. We could open that up and even grab, let's see, you could grab one of those things and then say, can you help me to create a few social media posts around this topic? Now, for Wally, he's going to ask me about the business type, the target audience, and the tone because I haven't used him in this conversation. Again, we could go back. And Wally is a custom GPT, so just so you have that background. So here is an educational one, an engagement, authority building, promotional. So lots of different choices. And again, all I have to do now, what I would suggest doing is copying these, and I'll even start a new tab just so that I can kind of keep these organized, and I'll paste this over here so that I'll have a nice record of all of the different posts so that we can easily be able to circle back to those. Another thing I'd like to show you are some of the prompts that I have here in this prompting sheet. Let's say I'm going to do an Instagram reel. So this would be one. And I'm going to keep with this main chat again. And I'm going to say, use the above information. So I'll use the above chat. You're a seasoned social media expert who knows how to make short form content explode on Instagram reels. Write a script, to go viral. Keep it fast paced, attention grabbing, and aligned with Instagram's vibe. So we'll post that, and it's going to tell us exactly what we can do. Because I find for me, sometimes I get stuck kind of making the same posts with like images and static. So this is nice because it comes up with some other ideas for Instagram Reels. There's one on the prompting sheet that's like for Instagram carousels. If you want to do a Facebook post, there's our one for the 7 days. And then if you're posting in Facebook groups, here's another one. So I'll share this document in the chat for now so that you have that. And then I'm going to pause and just ask if you guys have any questions, anything that you were wondering about, curious about. I'm hoping that you would just have some time to kind of play a little bit with these and just get a feel for what they produce. And then tomorrow, I wanted to do a little session. I was thinking just half an hour like this on images and how you can, again, create some bulk images. And then on the third day, I'm going to show you some tools so that you can kind of pull it all together. So like we'll have a nice spreadsheet that has our posts, our images, and then that's our content. If you don't have any questions, I think I'll stop there because that was kind of a lot. I want you to have a chance to really just get in and play with the prompts and be able to try those out. And then if you want to come back tomorrow, I'm going to show 3 different tools for creating images. I'm going to do Midjourney, I'm going to show Canva, and then DALL-E. So those will be the 3 image things. I'm also going to show you, we're going to take a look at, and I know that hopefully Jonathan doesn't mind that I'm sharing, but he has this really amazing tool that he's created, and I'll share the link with that as part of your homework tonight, but that way you can get that ahead of time and have that. All right. Well, I'm excited to see you guys back here tomorrow, and we'll chat around 1 o'clock if you don't have any questions, and I will see you then. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that you learned something.